Hi guys, welcome back. It's Laura with Treasure on Paper, and this is our final reading for the month of December for Moinetta's diary. And I'm a little sad, but happy because we did get to learn a little bit about her and her daily goings on. We've laughed and, gotten misty-eyed a few times. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Here we go. How are you guys been? Hope you've been well. And here we go. December 1st is a Tuesday. Another fine day. Mrs. Fraser and I got bagged potatoes from a man at the door. I took one peck of potatoes. Ooh. Okay, so I wonder what a peck is. So I will put that right here. And I'm sure my mom watches this. If you see someone comment, Mary, that is my mom. Say hello to her. She just turned 80. And I know that she remembers what a peck is. So anyway, hi Mom, I love you. Okay, so she had to go down to Dr. Pullen's to get her glasses. Miss Reynolds and Maurice called while she was gone. Verna came over and brought my check, $5. Disappointed. No one ever came to take us to church. Lillian has a cold. Oh, and she wrote disappointed out, period. No one came to take us to church. Oh. Lillian has a cold. Did I say that? Okay. All right. December 2nd. Very heavy rain. Lillian didn't go to work on account of cold and rain. Began snowing after dinner. And it snowed hard for a while. Big flakes. Ooh. I went down to Dixon's about 2:30 p.m. in bad storms and got... What? I went down to Dixon's about 2:30 p.m. It looks like the sentence is going, right? In bad something and got some better. Had Mama in house. Lights went out at 4:30 p.m. over the city. Ooh. Ida had no lights until 20 to 5 in the morning. She knows everybody's goings on. Everybody's. Used candles and flashlights. Something end of city. Did not have to go so long. Did not have to go so long without them. Something broke wires. Oh, storm maybe? Mrs. Taylor, oldest and meeting that night, and Doctor gave her an orchid and a kiss. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Mrs. Taylor. I think this is Mrs. Taylor. Oldest at meeting that night. Oh, because she was the oldest, the doctor gave her an orchid and a kiss. That is so darling. A little fresh. Good excuse, sir. Good excuse. Okay. Calm down. December 3rd. Fine. Lillian not able to go to work. I went up on St. George Street and did a little shopping. No one called for us to go to church. That is the third time. And I wonder if Lillian is still sick because she's had a cold. And look, the 4th really doesn't have much writing. Sadie up in the evening. Lillian went to work. Mrs. Fraser made donuts. Ooh. I'm going to want a snack, and it's too late. It's like going to be 2 o'clock in the morning. All right, I hope I can read these. They're They're looking interesting. Okay, December 5th. Rainy, then dull until afternoon. Cleared, and the Santa Claus parade began about 2:45 p.m. Went over to Verna's to watch it. It certainly was good. Ooh, I hope I can get a video that I can add here so you guys can see. All right, I'll probably cut the video here and include that if I can find it. Mr. and Mrs. Janet and Mr. and Mrs. G. Grant something and the three Sissons were there. Some were taking pictures. Verna stitched 3 pairs of pillowcases for me, got me a cup of tea and 2 biscuits, and gave me ginger snaps to bring home. In the evening, we all went up to high school to hear Dr. Appleman, and he showed picture of Palestine. Wonderful. Came home with Mr. Davis, turning cold. Roderick Wood, married to somebody. Wonder who that is. Ward? Okay. December 6th. Fine. Beautiful day. Heard Dr. Appleman over air. Spoke at Sunny Bray. Good. In afternoon, we went to high school where he told about his life. He was a Russian Jew. A criminal lawyer, then converted and became a noted evangelist. Been all over the world. Dr. Earl Davis conducted the singing. A number of us took lunch and stayed down at school. 6 of us went into a restaurant and had tea. Something went to hear Dr. Appleman for the last night sermon, When God Died. Ida, who had seen the picture, left the school to make room for others who had not seen it. Of Palestine, a beautiful picture. Listen to Billy Graham at 10:30. Okay. Very cool. Wow. That's wild. December 7th. Raining. Cleaning in afternoon. Lillian did not come home to dinner. Dr. Fraser came over in afternoon. Rained again. She stayed to supper. And then you see the little like she's making like a bracket or something here. Got letter from Gertrude that Dr. Marsalis, Melrose, Mars, osteopath, had died suddenly, aged 59. I knew him, and he was the girl's doctor. He died November 29th, 1953. Lillian had to work. Aw. That's probably why she was making a little bracket there. So she knew him, and he was the girl's doctor. I feel like Verna and Varna are her daughters. Okay, December 8th. Fine. Mrs. Fraser went downtown. I rode to Burl, and I washed my house coat. You got to get that thing clean, honey. Okay, because we got to clean those things sometimes. Okay, December 9th. Fine. Finished basting hymns on 3 pillowcases. Talked with Varna. Mrs. Fraser made biscuits and gave me 2 for supper. Good. I love her. Mini almond phone. I love that she, if somebody gave her some type of food or whatever, she's going to write if she liked it or not. December 10th is a Thursday. Heavy rain. Mild? Does it say mild? I don't know. Mrs. Fraser made Scotch cakes. Ooh, I want to add those here. I wonder what those are. Sadie was up. Ooh, wonder if it's Scotch, the liquor. Sadie was up for the evening. I had letter from Francis. Interesting. December 11th. Fine, little colder. Our group met at Mrs. Akerley. I can't believe. If you are still watching my videos with me reading, thank you, because I know it's a struggle. Our group met at Mrs. Ackerley. Mrs. Fraser and I got a taxi to take us up. Ida had gift night. I got a plastic dish with cover. 20 of us. Wow. Nice meeting and lunch. Mr. London brought us home. 7 of us in car. There was somebody that was smushed. There was somebody that was uncomfortable. Okay. But then again, back then you didn't have to wear seatbelts. So, and I'm sure it was the same in Canada as it was in the United States. So, that you could, 1 or 2 of you could sit up a little bit more on the seat. So it might not have been that bad. Plus the cars were probably a lot bigger. Not probably. I know they were. Not like I know what kind of car this person was driving, but you guys know what I mean. Okay. Calm down, Laura. Okay. Calm down. Okay. I went over to Varna's about 11 a.m. and stayed to dinner. Verna did my stitching and I made fish cakes for her. Ooh. She went downtown. Ray got ride home. Saturday, December 12th. Fine in the morning, mild. Soon clouded up and rained during the night. Lillian worked all day. What? I think that's brought because she abbreviates it. Something into supper. I went down to Dickens' store, got packages to Ken and Francis done up, talked with Varna, listened to it. She wrote Billy Graham, but she crossed it out. December 13th. Beautiful morning. Afternoon began to cloud up. Lillian and I went to church. Very wonderful sermon. 25 to be baptized tonight. Numbers came forward this morning. Mr. Sears brought us home. Lillian and I went again in the evening. December 14th. Rainy. Snowed heavy all afternoon. Clearing at night. Didn't feel very well, so took Francis and Ken's parcel over to Varna's with American letter. Right? Varna went to P.O. and mailed them for me. I stayed to dinner. I got home after 3 p.m. and snowstorm. Verna walked over with me. Dr. Fraser here to tea and evening. Sadie brought letters from and Gertrude up for me to read. Music festival at First Baptist Church. Oh, she wasn't feeling good. It's that snow day, I'm sure. December 15th. Fine and very sunny. Oh, it rained really hard the day before, and then now it's sunny the next day. About 10 a.m. had a shower. Not feeling well. I walked up to P.O. and mailed letters. Then went over to Mrs. Miller's a while. Girl, what are you doing visiting people? You need to be home. You're not feeling well. She went to the post office. She did that yesterday, too. Okay, then went over to Mrs. Miller's a while. Left there and went down to Levine's restaurant and got pie and tea. Listen. Starve a fever, feed a cold. She probably had a cold and she was hungry. I'd go get some pie if I had a cold too, Then went to Staples drugstore and bought cards. Then to Cosmopolitan. Then home. She has done more on this day not feeling well than some of the other days. Okay. Verna came in and brought some parcels she had got for me downtown. We had invitation to a party at Sunshine Class Highford Street. I don't know. I wonder if she went. Probably. Okay. December 16th. Fine. I went up to St. George Street shopping. Listen, a little cold is not stopping her. She's got to get out now. Because I wonder if they ever get snowed in there, you know? December 17th. Fine and cold. Verna got me meat. 60 cents. And pressed it for me. Do you see that the whatever writing utensil she's using is different? And she must have pre-written the days of the weekend on the top because that's a different pen there. All right. December 18th. Fine and cold. Very cold. I don't know if you caught that. Fine and cold. Very cold. Down to Dixon's store. Aunt Vinny came over and we had our supper in my room. She stayed the evening. Nice. I don't know. I do love to be with her. Aww. Sadie came up for the evening. Verna brought over my meat and some biscuits.